One thing I thought was very hilarious during my time at Inbound was that people were invested in what shoes I was wearing, they were invested in what outfit I was going to come out in, and they were invested in where were Troy's parents. One thing I think people don't understand, but you need to grasp, is that you have to be able to create memorable moments for things to stick and matter to your ideal audience. Whether you're presenting on stage, you're doing a keynote, you're talking to a potential client, you're trying to lead the charge to inspire your team as you're launching a new MVP, you're trying to get funding from a PE or a VC, you're pursuing a new job, and this is the final round of an interview. It doesn't matter the specific situation, because this applies in every situation. How much time should you spend prospecting? How do you navigate generating sales at a very robust startup? What are some essential strategies to grow through a recession? Outbound Squad, formerly Blissful Prospecting, hosted by Jason Bay, brought to you by the HubSpot Podcast Network, dives in with leading sales experts and top performing reps to share actionable tips and strategies to help you land more meetings with your ideal clients. If you're a listener of I Digress, you already know how important it is not only to articulate your message and your branding, but also be able to sell. There's an art, a science, and a strategy to it, and Outbound Squad will help you do it. Listen to Outbound Squad wherever you get your podcasts. People who can create memorable moments are the people who will get ahead and thrive. These are the same people that for some reason will always be like, man, that person was great. We'll be able to reference this or that. And it may not be what they exactly said. It's about how they made us feel in that particular time frame that created that moment that we will not forget. And when we can associate people with positive moments enough times, that lives rent-free in our mind. That power is what helps people get the bag. That power is what helps people get ahead. That power levels the game, because it doesn't matter what walk of life you came, doesn't matter your education, doesn't matter what role you have, because that skill set is what sells. That skill set is what creates dynamic relationships that for some reason people will go out of their way to refer you opportunities, to help you get a job, whatever it is that you're looking for, because you created a moment worth remembering rent-free in someone's mind. How do we get from that to me going a little bit deeper into hosting about Inbound? You'll find out in a few seconds. Let's go.
What's up, digital world? You're listening to the I Digress audio experience with Troy Sandidge. Social media, marketing, storytelling, business, culture, and more. Coming to you in 3, 2, 1.
As the strategy hacker, I think people should expect by now, if they don't already, I always come with a plan. Even if I am put in a very spontaneous situation, which actually I really thrive in, I come still with a plan that I build in real time. And that comes by my experience of learning how to structure the objective in parallel to the various steps or actions I need to do to achieve that objective. My objective was very clear, and it may be more than what you may think. If you listen to the previous episode, then you already know my mindset going into it and how I tie that into being ready for opportunities when they come. If you haven't listened to that episode, go back, listen to that episode, then come back to this one. But the objective was to create a dynamic experience where you have someone who isn't a professional MC by any means, though I may aspire to be one. Send me your contact information if you have an event for me to do, but I just want to plug that in real quick, but I digress. But understanding I need to create energy. I need to be able to connect people from various walks of life, various titles, all over the world, to galvanize behind this person who has never experienced Inbound in person before in his life. And I'm giving you real reaction in real time to moments. But all that comes down to energy, the energy that I exert and the energy that you hope people then regurgitate back to you that creates this dynamic, safe space for speakers to feel at their best. They're hyped. They got the swag. They're ready to go. They're ready to drop the value, the nuggets, the gems. We have people who are, because of that energy, oh, I want to have lunch with this person. Let's create some social media content together. Let's network and connect, right? It takes a lot of willpower to exert energy when you yourself have nothing to start with. And what I mean by that is, a host's job, no matter if the crowd is immediately reacting to you or doesn't give you any type of energy at all back, is to continue to spread that energy and create that atmosphere anyway. Luckily for me, the Hub fans came deep and gave me a lot of support on stage, behind stage, virtually, and every time I went around the whole floor. So shout out to my correspondents. Shout out to the key circle of individuals who checked on me every single day and made sure I was good. Shout out to the backstage crew. Y'all all was great. Y'all all was amazing. We had a great, phenomenal time. Also, shout out to Mike. The running joke is every time I had to be mic'd up by Enrique, apparently Mike was one of the people who would be listening in as I was doing testing. And I didn't know until day 3 who the person was behind the scenes. And so the running joke is I was always thanking this person for tolerating my kind of like preamble before I would go on stage. Whatever I would do or say to myself, I do a little dance, do a little talk. And I just want to give a shout out to Mike. But shout out to Ashley and Courtney, Christina, Lauren, Cindy, Deb, Enrique, Monica, Maria, Jane, John, Mark, and so many other people who I engage with on the daily to make sure your homeboy was doing the best he could in front of the people. Amen, amen. If you haven't listened to the previous episode, I also shared my top 5 moments of Inbound 2022. Go check that out. A lot of love, a lot of fun. If you go to my Instagram, you'll actually see the full video where I talk through it visually, because there's a few moments that the audio does it good, but the video does it so much more justice. So go check it out. My Instagram is at instagram.com/findtroy. Did you know that specific call to action buttons increase click-through rates by 28% versus standard call to action buttons? Troy, what are you talking about? You get the usual sign up button, free trial button, download now. The list goes on and on, right? Now imagine if you just add a few more words and you'll see your click-through rates go through the roof. Instead of saying sign up, free trial, how about instead say start 30-day free trial? Again, specific call to action buttons increase click-through rates by 28%. Can you afford not having people opening up your emails and clicking on your buttons, whether it's on your email, on your landing page, in your business? I don't think so. 92% of unsubscribers are from people who have not clicked or opened one of your emails in the last 6 months. Stop letting unsubscribers dictate your sending frequency. Now, those are just 2 examples of what you will learn at the Guru Conference, the world's largest virtual email marketing conference run by Jay Swedelson, founder of SubjectLine.com, and of course, Guru Events. You'll have keynote speakers like Damon John and Hadley and a plethora of other skilled email marketing professionals and business people ready to help you take your email marketing to the next level. November 2nd, November 3rd, 100% free. Click on the link in the show notes, and I'll see you there. One thing I was thinking about as we went from day 1, which was the most awkward day, but I think I had the best outfit. Context, I had blue blazer, blue jeans, but people thought it was a full suit, and some fresh new Jordan 1s. You got to bring it. And it was so funny that on day 1, I went through the Black and Inbound activation, which I loved. Phenomenal job by the entire team. Snaps and church fans all around for them, 100%. It was just hilarious how people were just discovering what my role was and what I was doing. Now, yes, it was announced. I even pushed out a press release, Inbound announced on social, but it's different because my inner circle, my social community knew what I was doing. It's not like they knew what I was going to be doing, right? Like, okay. They didn't know I was going to be interviewing people off stage and all this other extra stuff that I personally, full transparency here, decided to do in part because of what happened at the end of day 1. I was figuring some things out, right? Now, I think ultimately day one was good, and I only had to do 2 introductions, so it wasn't that bad. But at the end of day one, I discovered that a lot of the virtual attendees really wanted some more pop. They wanted to see some things that maybe they couldn't experience because they didn't have the luxury to be at Boston. When I heard these things, I went to the team. I said, hey, is there any way that we can really show some more love for the virtual people to really see what's going on and have this unique experience? Y'all, when I tell you they gave me the full green light to record whatever I wanted backstage, I said, bet. And next thing I knew, day 2, Troy is coming with all this new energy. I brought my 2 battery packs, and we're going to be creating content all while I'm still doing my hosting duties behind the stage. And I'll never forget taking all these various clips. And granted, what people don't realize is, for the most part, I really was recording most of it by myself. Now, I might have had someone who was just backstage holding the camera for me, but a lot of it was, okay, Troy, you're going to talk to this person for like 10 to 15 seconds, press record. You better hope you got your angles right, the lighting's right, the audio's good, they look good, they sound good, you get the point across, and then it's usable, right? You get one take, you get one shot. People have to get mic'd up, they got to get prepped. You don't have a lot of time. There's no opportunities really for any retakes. And so coming into this thing, it's like all the different years of me being a social media manager, videographer, photographer, designer. There's all these different things coming to play in this moment of like, okay, make sure I have everything I can control correct and go do it, right? And so for those who don't remember, or those who haven't seen, there's a lot of them on LinkedIn and Instagram right now, where I did the makeup one. That was a one take. The official walkthrough backstage that I did on Inbound's channel, that was a one take. The Black and Inbound activation, that was a one take. Many of the interviews that you saw, they were all one takes. That's it, that's all. Whatever you got, it's what you got. Let's see if it's used for social. So I'm taking all these skill sets, I'm doing all these different things. And when day 2 happened, the first person I had to introduce was, of course, Viola Davis. And I have to give HubSpot and Inbound kudos for creating such a dynamic, diverse, inclusive, and dare I say it because it's my own podcast and I can do what I want, say what I want, Black experience of excellence. Okay, there was Black excellence everywhere. And I'm not just talking about the heavy hitters like Viola Davis and President Barack Obama, number 44 himself, but there were so many other speakers and headliners and influencers and people who were showing the culture, being unapologetically themselves. And yet still, we're in a business setting. And for those who maybe don't understand how significant that is, I've been in corporate for a very long time. I've been in the agency world, B2B, SaaS, tech, manufacturing, politics. I've done a lot of different industries and sectors in my career and in my lifetime. And in many cases, we have to dim our light and come across a certain way, a certain tone to fit in, to try to have any enjoyment or to have an opportunity to speak on any stage. I'll tell you this much. People who got the opportunity to speak on stage and engage, they got to be their true, authentic self, and it was beautiful. I even referenced it multiple times during my on-stage and even off-stage conversations at Inbound. Customer success isn't just about thinking how your customers can win right now. It's thinking about what will always help them win. Helping your customers win starts with tools that can weather any storm that comes your way. Tools that help you have meaningful conversations with your customers at scale. That help your business grow with customizable apps you actually use. That can keep your data secure and connected so you always have a full 360-degree picture. HubSpot is an all-in-one CRM platform that is impossible to outgrow and ridiculously easy to use, meaning you never have to worry about it slowing you down. That's because HubSpot is purpose-built for real businesses. Businesses that test, businesses that learn, businesses that pivot, businesses that push, and do it all again next quarter and next year and beyond. With customizable hubs and tools that can add or subtract as you grow, HubSpot is ready to help you and your customers win always. Learn how HubSpot can help your business grow better at HubSpot.com. So why am I saying that? When someone like myself had an idea to bring a church fan on stage to reference a certain culture dynamic when someone is going to give you the heat, is going to take us to church, is going to really move mountains and get us all emotional, and you whip out the Black and Inbound church fan and you have these conversations and you set the tone, you set the stage, it's phenomenal. Not to mention I got to also give her flowers and then take a picture and then have a moment where she's literally looking into my soul and basically give me all this empowerment. You go be the best you can be. And I'm just like, yes, Viola. Yes, yes. Not to mention the Woman King. Have y'all seen it? I would love to talk about it. Tag me on Twitter. I literally ugly cried. It was a great movie. I hope it wins some awards. But I digress. I look back going from Viola Davis at the beginning of the day to the various speakers in between and then ending at Inbound at Night with Jimmy O. Yang, and it was such a long day. That was my most active day. I did so many things, and I gave it all that I had. I probably had 8 hours of sleep total the entire time I was at Inbound. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm not saying that to say that that's probably the best scenario. I'm saying is there were so many things that I had stacked up, already arranged when I touched down in Boston for the first time, that I had to make sure that Troy was aware this is bigger than me. You're here to do a job, but also have fun. You're here to make an impact and articulate a certain amount of thoughts, but also connect people that maybe would not have connected to things before. And the last thing, if people remember from the previous year, Inbound 2021, when your homeboy, that was my first time I actually was officially air quotes at an Inbound, though that was just virtual. I did speak at that Inbound with the HubSpot Podcast Network team in a panel. I was a correspondent there as well. I did live tweet like a crazy person. I think people didn't know I could tweet that fast. Going to 2022, I always had in the back of my mind, how do I make the people who are attending virtually feel welcomed? Because a lot of people who put on hybrid experiences put 90% of their efforts and energy for the people in person, and they forget about the people who are virtual. And I put in all that effort of love, that labor of love, because I didn't want the virtual people to think we forgot about you. And so everything that I was doing, I'm like, does that connect to people virtually? Can I give them the information a certain way? And so all these things played into my hand going in from day 1 to day 2. And then day 3, obviously, was Obama Day. Security was fun that day. And what people don't realize, I had the longest walk to get backstage. It's an extremely long walk. And I remember that was my earliest call time. And the one thing I do remember from day 3 versus any other day was just everyone being so excited that President Barack Obama was going to be speaking. You know, everyone's like, it's Obama Day, but it was a different aura because everyone was united to go hear this man speak artfully and gracefully as he always does. He's been kind of a quiet voice since, everything. And just seeing him coming back and having that moment to see him live was just powerful and impactful. It's time to take control of your social media marketing. Stay organized, save time, and easily manage your social media with Agorapulse's inbox, publishing, reporting, monitoring, and team collaboration tools. Did you know that over 31,000 social media managers use Agorapulse daily? It's a one easy-to-use solution loaded with powerful features. Everything you need to dominate the day with social media, fortified with the industry's #1 rated customer support. I even offer exclusively for listeners of my podcast a 2-month free trial of Agorapulse. Click on the links in my show notes. I think what I took away from Inbound 2022 as the host, besides that I might have a good career as an MC and media personality one day, but I digress, is people just want someone to make them feel comfortable to connect. That's it. Whether you're in marketing, whether you're in sales, whatever it is that you do, whatever it is that you're good at, you got to be able to create an atmosphere where people want to connect. And if you are that bridge where that connection can occur and happen, you were the person that helped orchestrated that safe space. You were the one who were making sure to set the rules and the tone that, hey, we're going to be inclusive. We're going to use certain language. I want to make sure everyone's identified, everyone's represented, everyone's welcomed, and everyone should have the opportunity to speak and learn something. This is the space that you're in. Take the time to enjoy. Activate people to go get the best out of the money they spent to attend virtually or in person. Let me remind you about what's going on over here. Maximize the time that you have, right? That's the job of the host. That's the thing that I learned, but I'm like, I can apply this in my business. When people want to have a strategy call with me to decide if they want to work with me, pay to have me help them grow their business, that moment shouldn't be just like, let me just read you off a slide, show you my pricing plans. That should be an experience. A space should be created for a connection to occur. That if they don't even want to buy, they want to talk to people about it anyway. And maybe they want to buy. That brings me back to episode 4, way back in the day, when I talked about the relationship of buyers, advocates, and elevators. When you can be the host of your own experience for your business, or for your marketing team, or your sales team, or for something you're trying to launch, or something you're trying to do or get funded, you have to bring the energy and make the connection happen. You have to be prepared that when you're not even getting the regurgitation of energy you want to project back, you're still projecting that energy on full blast anyway, because you want to make sure they still feel that experience. When you're able to be the host of your own experience to the very ideal clients or customers you're trying to attract and acquire, that's when people just feel compelled to buy or to be an advocate and refer you someone else or show you some love on social media and mention you, seen by someone who wants to be a buyer, an advocate, or an additional elevator. And the cycle continues. You sow these seeds, you water these seeds, and then you grow fruit. That's how it works. Yay, Troy tied in Inbound 2022 hosting to business, and it took him a part 1 and a part 2 to do it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want me to dive in deeper, or if you have questions that you want me to answer about my time at Inbound 2022, please tweet me. Also, you go to idigress.fm. There's a pop-up that if you click on it, you can actually send me questions. Another thing, while I got you on the line real quick, send me a review. Give me some ratings. Tell me the honest truth. Why do you listen to my podcast? How has it benefited you? And should I continue? Full disclosure, I'm totally continuing either way. But I would love for people to tell me, go ahead, Troy, with your bad self. Bring out the church fans. Go ahead, boy. Keep going. Give me one more episode. But I digress. That is what I want to deliver and convey. I thank you all for your support. Thank you all for being on this journey with me. And I have a lot of new things in store for I Digress, for my listeners, and even for people who maybe potentially want to work with me. Last thing I'd say, if you want to stay connected, I tweet all the time, twitter.com/findtroy, and I'm working on a few new things for my YouTube channel, youtube.com/findtroy as well. So let's stay connected, let's stay hungry, let's stay humble, let's go get it, and remember, be the host of your own experience to create the dynamic space and attract and activate the very opportunities that you want. Let's go get it, let's go do it, grow better. Troy out.
And that's a wrap. We hope you enjoyed this episode of I Digress. What was your takeaway? Care to share your thoughts and tag Troy on social media? You can find him on all platforms at Find Troy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review or comment for this episode from wherever you're listening. Looking for a marketing strategist to build the structure, strategies, and systems you need to get the success you want and the ROI you desire in your business? Book a discovery call to talk with Troy at findtroy.com. And as Troy's philosophy goes, imagination is the engine, content is the fuel, social media is the highway, marketing is the roadmap, sales is the destination, culture is the GPS. Thanks for listening.